I am a hyper responder to the product that I'm selling, the product that I'm backing, and the product that I'm trying to distribute. But like I said, if it doesn't work for you, it's not because the product doesn't work. No, it's because you are a non-responder. Well, team, I must apologise for the lack of energy in the last video. I was indeed feeling a little bit spicy. Turns out it wasn't hay fever. Turns out I currently have the big C-19 that I can't speak about on the old YouTube machine without them getting really angry at me and headbutting me. But to be honest, I feel pretty good. I feel alright. My nose is running more than I do, but that's also not hard because I have not run for many years. So yeah, I do apologise. But thank you for all the well wishes and the get well soons. I do very much appreciate that. Today's a good one. Today we've got a good hat. Today we've got an original video topic. And today we're going to bring the source and debunk some scams that I know have been lingering for many years. But before we crack on the video, you know what must be done very quickly. If at any point you decide you like this style of video and want to see more of it, please let me know by liking the video. 1,300 likes in the first 24 hours is the goal, so if we reach that, that'd be bloody splendid. We'd very much appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking the red button down below and subscribing to the channel, and maybe even the bell next to it so you get notified when I upload every week, twice a week. If you have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, please do consider drop it down below in the comment section for Comment Question of the Week, and I shall do so. I bloody love it. It's a shame it's summer that I can't wear this more often, because as soon as winter hits, we're go time. So the fitness industry really started booming more than ever when social media started booming, as with a lot of industries, understandably. And with the boom in fitness and with the boom of social media, a lot of great information started getting produced. Fantastic people telling you what's right, what could maybe be improved, things like that. Love it. But on top of that, a lot of nonsense got produced. And although I'm not massively involved in a lot of industries, from what I have seen, the fitness industry is home to a lot of nonsense. And it's a real shame because a lot of the companies, a lot of people kind of thrive on promoting false promises and almost thrive on the insecurities of consumers, where they're trying to make people feel bad about looking a certain way, about feeling a certain way, and they're trying to give them a cure for the problem that they've created. They're basically saying, here's your problem. I've made this problem for you. You didn't have this problem. You didn't have this insecurity before. I've given it to you, but now you've got it. Here's a fix. And not only should these insecurities not be planted onto you, and not only should these fake problems not be planted onto you, but 9 times out of 10, the quote-unquote solutions to these problems that they're creating also don't work. I asked you on the Instagram machine, what are the biggest scams floating around the fitness industry? I'm going to talk about a few of them because I've got some humdingers. So I think the way I want to work this video is I think I'm going to choose 4 of the kind of like scams and misconceptions that were presented to me on the old Instagram machine, and then I'll kind of dissect them a little bit, go into a bit of detail surrounding them, and maybe in the future I could either do, like I said, a second part to this video, or maybe I could even do a deeper dive on the potential scam or misconception that I'm discussing. And the first one we're going to discuss is going to be a known one. It's going to be a popular one, and it's going to be Herbalife. The big thing about Herbalife is obviously you know my thoughts on supplements. I think supplements can certainly supplement your diet and your training, but they should not be there to replace anything. And Herbalife often really did push the kind of idea that their products are better than any other products on the market, and that taking their supplements will help you see results that no other supplement company can provide you. Things along those lines. Very extreme and unrealistic expectations surrounding supplements. And a lot of the supplements they are producing are largely nonsense. And one of the big things about Herbalife is their supplements are also horrendously expensive, and I mean horrendously. You go on their website and you look at their vegan protein shake for 560 grams, and they're saying the recommended retail price is nearly £40. I'm probably buying 4 times as much protein for that same price from a company that I would actually support and a company that I back. But realistically, their products are not doing anything that any other protein products are doing. They are not providing something that cannot be provided by food or anything along those lines. They're essentially a supplement company that is creating very subpar products that really aren't doing what they're claiming they do for a lot of money. And they're also getting a lot of other people on board to convince them, saying, you know what, you should distribute, you should sell our products because none of your friends can achieve their goals without them, and neither can you, but if you sell them, we'll give you some money. It is a very problematic approach to supplements, and it's one of the ideas that to achieve your results you need Herbalife, when in reality I don't know anybody who has ever used Herbalife themselves. When it comes to supplement companies, go to supplement brands you trust, go to supplement brands that don't charge you stupid amounts of money, and go to supplement brands that don't create absolute nonsense products. Which kind of leads on to the second potential scam in the industry, And it's an interesting one because it's also a supplement, and it's turkesterone. So I have spoken about turkesterone a few times before here and there. It's a product that is obviously commonly used within hypertrophy and like resistance training to build mass. And it was kind of sold with the idea, kind of teasing, that it has anabolic-like properties. And a lot of people coined it like a safer alternative to steroids with similar effects, etc, etc. There is no safe alternative to steroids. That doesn't exist. There is also no alternative to steroids. Steroids work for a reason, and no supplement that is on the market today will ever rival or challenge that. And turkesterone is actually largely sold with the idea that it will do so, or at least comparable to steroids to some extent, but it's also significantly more expensive. Riddle me this very quickly. Why is a tub of turkesterone more expensive than a starting cycle of testosterone? There is a significant price difference, and the reality is the supplements that really do seem to be supported and that do really seem to work are usually the ones that don't cost a lot of money. Creatine monohydrate is a prime example of that. It's very cheap, very effective, and very well researched. Turkesterone, not very well researched, likely not very effective, also very expensive. A big thing, obviously, Greg Doucette pushes this a lot. It's kind of like I associate turkesterone with him, and he kind of gives himself a bit of like a get out of jail free card with it, like a bit of a caveat when he says he himself is a hyper responder to turkesterone, but you may be a non-responder, which is almost like a safety net. So if it doesn't work, it's not turkesterone's fault, it's your fault that you don't respond. And I think that's a really problematic approach in the sense that essentially leads people to believe that there's something wrong with them, their genetic makeup and their body that leads them to not respond to certain things. It also gives that, like say Greg or whoever is selling the product, that get out of jail free card. So if it doesn't work for you, it's not because the product is bad or the product doesn't work, it's because you're just a non-responder. But I myself, one of the reasons why I may look so good is actually because I'm a hyper responder to turkesterone. So, you know what, I am a hyper responder to the product that I'm selling, the product that I'm backing, and the product that I'm trying to distribute. But like I said, if it doesn't work for you, it's not because the product doesn't work. No, it's because you are a non-responder. And then a lot of these other influencers who support this brand, you know what, I think turkesterone is amazing. I'm actually sponsored by a brand that sells turkesterone I think is actually amazing. And I'm actually a hyper responder myself, and I'm also getting money from this. But if you're a non-responder, that's on you. That's not on the fact that I'm distributing or trying to sell a really bad product. When it comes to supplements, you don't need them. No supplement will make or break a physique. It is really that simple. If you are going to take supplements, if you had to choose two, I would consider a protein powder to help you reach your protein intake goals. I would consider creatine monohydrate, because it's very effective, very well researched, and also very cheap. You can get most of what you need through food, and if you can't get it, like a sufficient amount of creatine monohydrate, a supplement could help. Number 3, we're going to talk about the PT world, the personal training world and personal training courses. So I did my course through a company called Premier Training International, which I believe at the time may still be, is affiliated with NASM, so the big one that is often seen in your gyms, especially considering most of my audience are US based. You probably have seen NASM qualifications around somewhere. And then what they do is they give you the driving license, we'll say, the qualification to then PT. So be able to do your level 3 personal training, blah, 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 all that stuff. Once they've done that, okay, well, you can PT now, but to be better, you need to do these additional courses. Like, for example, if you want to play with kettlebells, you need a course to do kettlebells. But if you want to play with the TRX, you need actually a course for that. Also, by the way, if you want to speak about nutrition, although nutritionist isn't a protected term, you actually need a course to be a nutritional advisor, which doesn't actually give you any more authority in that kind of realm. It's simply a way of them making money and them to essentially latch on and leech from all the people that they send into the industry with the belief that having this arsenal of courses will help them become more successful as a personal trainer, when the reality is, no, it probably won't. I've been qualified for nearly 10 years and no one has ever asked me what qualifications I have within the world of personal training, because beyond my basic ones, I didn't invest money into them because I got a lot more bang for my buck and I got a lot more benefit from doing my own research from trusted sources I did from spending silly amounts of money on these additional courses, which a lot of PTs have done. I'm not saying all the courses are nonsense, I'm saying a lot of them can be. Prime example, the big one they're pushing at the moment is a social media fitness influencer course by a personal training brand, teaching you how to be an influencer. But at the end there's a 50-question multiple choice test that you must achieve at least 70% on to pass to be a NASM qualified social media fitness influencer. I've never seen a fitness influencer that has a qualification in being an influencer, because it doesn't exist and it doesn't need to exist. If you do want to go down the PT route, I support it, I fully back it. Just get your level 2 to start working in a gym, get your level 3 to start PTing. If you want to do additional level 4 stuff on top of that, fine, I support it, like GP referral, things along those lines. But when it comes to these like minor additional courses, the nutritionist course and the social media fitness influencer course, I wouldn't waste your time, I wouldn't waste your money. If you want to go into the world of nutrition, it might be worth considering trying to become a dietitian and going down the academic route through university or something along those lines, rather than an add-on course that is going to cost you money and probably no additional understanding of nutrition that you can't actually find online for free from better sources. And now the final one that has been mentioned many times in the past, and something I probably will do a video in the future, is Beachbody Workouts and this kind of whole realm of the Beachbody scene. And I know Brianna, shout you out, has done a few videos covering Beachbody Workouts, and I'm a big fan of Brianna actually. I think she's doing some bloody good stuff in the fitness space, and I definitely recommend people have a look at her channel. Highly rate her, really think she's a bloody solid person. But I know she has done some videos covering this, and I will kind of give my own take on that in the future if people do want to see it. But essentially Beachbody is a collection of like workouts that there's essentially marketed to give you that beach body. So as you can see here, you've got things like Insanity, all the things back in the day, kind of along like the P90X era. I don't know if any of you remember that, but I remember when like things like Insanity Max came out. And what I kind of perceive from their marketing is that it very much thrives on the idea that to be beach body ready, you must look a certain way. When in reality, there is no definition of what a beach body is. A beach body is essentially whatever body you currently have. There is no reason why a body should change to go to the beach. There is no criteria to be on the beach with your body. Essentially, every body is a beach body. Nothing should change that. No workout should change that. It's just about you looking how you want to look for you, because it makes you feel comfortable, and you feel comfortable within your own skin. That's a message I would always try and promote, rather than saying look this way to step on the beach. And one of the big things they do is they do promote a lot of wild claims, but they give it a bit of a caveat. Lose up to 9 pounds in 14 days with Beachbody. First of all, up to implies that you can lose up to this, but kind of like with the Greg Doucette thing I mentioned earlier, it's a bit of a safety net. If you lose £2 instead of £9, that is still technically up to £9. I'm saying this is the upper limit. So you're still in the green zone, so it's not the fault of the workout, it's not the fact that they're pushing false promises, no. And also realistic expectations are commonly overlooked with these kind of like Beachbody things, in the sense that you look at 14 days, how much weight do you expect to lose in 14 days? The idea is that there's about 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So to lose 9 pounds of fat, let's say, in 14 days, you need to be in a 2,250 calorie deficit, which is not going to happen. It's also very, very unhealthy and very definitely not sustainable. Let's say you did lose 9 pounds in 14 days. How much of that is fat? How much of that is water weight? And how much of that is actually just food that is finally digesting and making its way out? Probably a lot more than you think. Fat is probably on the kind of lower end of the scale. The water weight and the other bits and bobs are probably on the higher end of the scale. But the idea is a lot of these companies do push these insane like annihilation workouts that make you feel like you've been absolutely battered, when in reality you've just burned a fair amount of calories, but the results you achieve are likely not going to meet expectations, nor are they going to be sustainable, which is a big concern. I'm by no means stating that these workouts don't work, absolutely not. I'm merely stating there's a lot of unrealistic expectations and false promises, when in reality is, in theory, any workout will work, provided you do it with sufficient intensity. If your goal is weight loss, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, anything will work. If your goal is muscle gain, provided you follow the kind of basic resistance training principles, anything will work with sufficient intensity to a certain extent. It's only once you can't progress anymore, you realise actually now I need to start looking at better optimising my training to actually take me beyond the kind of beginner growth period or the beginner gaining period. I just wanted to quickly cover like a few of the big 4 scams I see lingering around the industry. I just give very quick fire opinions on them before I can maybe delve into them in greater detail in a future video if you would like to see it. But I'm very curious to know if there are any fitness scams that you've heard of in the industry and any scams that you would like me to address in the future. Please do drop them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear it. We're going to crack on with comment question of the week, and again, it's another good one. Would you say there is a functional benefit to including an Arnold press instead of a shoulder press? Wondering if there might be some advantage to them if we aren't focusing on hypertrophy alone. I guess one of the arguments you can present is functional in what sense and functional how? Because how often in like daily life and doing whatever you're doing do you go through this range of motion? Do you know what I mean? Where you go from up in front, down, round, across and back up again. The Arnold press range of motion. So if you can think of a time where you would do something like that in your daily life, then arguably you could say yes, it has some functional benefit because you're going through a range of motion that is a bit more applicable to real life scenarios. But other than that, I can't really consider there to be much of a functional benefit to an Arnold press. And if you're looking at almost like function of the anterior delt, that is more functional for the anterior delt than this would be. But as I believe you did state in the comment section, if you enjoy the movement and you enjoy what you're doing, I think there's plenty justification to include that movement. At the end of the day, I always say you shouldn't do something unless you can justify why you're doing it. But enjoyment and fun is certainly a justification. So if you can say, you know what, the Arnold press isn't quite as good as the standard 45-degree kind of anterior delt shoulder press when looking at like hypertrophy and maybe arguably functional benefit, but I really enjoy doing the Arnold press and it's a fun movement and I love it. To me, that's plenty of reason to do it because you're more likely to remain consistent with movements you actually enjoy than you are if you were to do movements you just don't like. Maybe you could even do both. Maybe you could alternate between the two on your different push days, or maybe you could do one for a little while then swap it out to another one. Who knows? It's completely up to you. It's about doing what's best for you. But yeah, that is it. That is a video. Again, like I say, if you like this style of video, please let me know you like the video. But drop a like on the video. 1,300 likes in the first 24 hours is the goal. So if we reach that, that'd be bloody splendid. I would very much appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking the red button down below and subscribe to the channel. And maybe even the bell next to it so you get notified when I upload every week, twice a week. And if you two have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, please do consider dropping it down below for comment question of the week and I shall do so. Thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating the fact that I likely shan't be donating this hat and will instead be keeping it for myself because I like it. And thank you for tolerating the video.